Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Praveen, and in this video we are going to continue from where we left last time and try to leverage as much as possible the AI copilot like Cursor to finish up our first MVP and create a pull request. If you have not watched my first video, I highly encourage you to watch that before moving further. The link to it is also below in the description. Okay, let's now jump into the code and try to finish the work. Okay, so I have opened the Cursor, and as you can see here, I have everything as we finished last time. So this was the prompt that we gave. We provided these basic rules here, and the Cursor gave us the HTML code, the JavaScript code, and then we also followed the instructions to run it. And last time, if you remember, we used the Claude model from Anthropic, and the product that we built was this Tetris that we can live view here. So this is all we did last time. So now what we want to do is we want to clean up this work. So before we kind of wrap up our first MVP, or at least we have to create a pull request for this, we want to create some documentation, organize the code, and in this case, as we speak in the beginning, we try to leverage our AI copilot, and in this case Cursor, as much as possible. So let's see what we can do now here. So first thing I'm seeing is the code is not organized. So let's create a folder here for the project here. So let's say for this Tetris, I create a folder here, and then I call this source. And then what I'll do is I'll just move this to the source folder. Yeah, so I can move this. So now I have everything in the source, and also I want to create a readme.md file here. So I'm going here and then readme.md. So that's we are going to fill up this file as well, but I want to create outside of the source. So so move this outside the source, and also I want to create a docs folder. So in this simple example, we are not using any like task management software like Jira. So we'll try to see if we can add those kind of like a tasks breakdown into MVPs in this documents itself. So in documents, what I'm thinking is, so we have this, and here under the so under the documents, I'm going to create one folder which is requirement.md. so that's requirement.md, but I want to move this to docs. So something happened here, I'm not sure, so I'm going to delete this, and let me create another folder here called docs, and then I'm going to move the requirement under the docs folder. As well as one thing, as I'm thinking more about moving forward, I think a lot of the software will be created using AI, right? So where prompt engineering will be important, and I think now prompt should be part of the artifact. So that's what I'm thinking. It should be part of the artifact itself. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a prompt.md itself inside the docs folder. So here I'm going to do prompt.md. So because this is I see this as an artifact. So let's try to just copy the prompt that we used last time, and then we can always use that later for reference. Because as you know, these LLM models are not deterministic, and every time you give them the questions, their answer would be different, right? So it would be nice to have this prompt as an artifacts, so that we can go back and look at them. So here I will give prompt, and then so I'll say MVP, so and then the following prompt was given for the first iteration of the project. As you can see here, the cursor is checking, and it's fixing a lot of the typos as well as syntactical error. So now here, this was the first one that I gave, so I can copy this here. So I think all this is what I gave. Sure, now yeah, so this is the prompt that I gave. Yeah, so I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste all these here. I think there should be a better way, I'm thinking. Yeah, so let me do Control C and then Control V here, or Command V if you are using Mac here. So this would be my prompt. So now I can do like this, or I think that's fine. So here, so this is the prompt. So now we have this prompt as a artifacts. And then let's see if there are any other prompt that we use, simplified version. So I think that's the only prompt that we gave. Yeah, I think this is fine. We don't want to add this, so prompt is fine for now. We'll close that. For requirement, we'll try to just requirements. So yeah, so for requirements also, so if we do like a MVP1, so the MVP1 was the basic requirement. So the basic are falling. So now let's say that is the basic requirement. So now for MVP2 we can say yeah, so as you can see here, but this is not I want, so I can just remove this, and I can say this is implement level system, and then there can be implement scoring. Scoring is already there, so implement level system, and I'm thinking we can just have like a level system when a user score 100 points every time. So this is the MVP2 we are going to implement later. All right, cool. So we have this requirement also here, basic one. So I'm going to close this as well. Now the README. So we'll come back to the README later. So now one of the thing is, before I create a pull request and ask my colleague to review it, or even for historical region, I think the code is not easy to understand. So what I'm going to do is, here I come to the chat again, and then I'm going to ask Cursor to add a documentation. So I'm going to say, can you add the documentation to the file? So I think there is a way to select the files here, files, and then I can do tetris.js, and the files is also there. So now it should add like a documentation to all the JavaScript. So as you can see here is valid move. Yeah, game over, rotate. So look how fast it is able to fill up this and add the documentation. So yeah, so now I can say apply, and then it added all the documentation into the into this. So now it should be pretty much easy to read next time as well. All right, this looks good. And if I go back, it should be still the same, right? So I can add yeah, so as you can see here, it's still the same. So that's great. So now we added the documentation, we added all these artifacts. So now going back to the readme.md, so now I also wants to so that it's already selected. This is pretty easy. So otherwise in other Copilot I have to go and specifically use some kind of annotation to refer to the file, but in this case Cursor is very smart to find that. So now can you update the readme to reflect the high level details of the project, such as descriptions, how to install, how to run, a license, etc. Okay, so suddenly, so yeah, so basic Tetris game description, features, installation, and then how to run, how to play, project structure, future improvements, license, contributing, and author. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is pretty good. So I'm going to apply it, and now I can just create a pull request, and then I can submit it for review. So I'm going to do the init here, and then I'm going to push this to my GitHub, for which the link I will also provide. So now I can do yeah. All right, thank you very much for watching this video. Sorry for that. In the next video I will use the cursor in order to implement the second MVP, which is about the level of the game. Thank you again, and if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe and like it. See you next time. Bye.